Alright, so for the third beer of this tasting, before we get into the big beer series,
it's really serious.
We have the Durty, which is was originally from their short batch series. It's a hoppy brown ale, or their mud season hoppy brown ale. So this beer was actually just recently released, a really fresh bottle. As you can see by the June 4th, 2014 date. So it was literally bottled this month. So I'll let Pat tell you a little bit about this beer.
This is a beer, as Barry said, that we put out as a short batch. It's an IBA, like an India Brown Ale. That would be similar to Dogfish Head Indian Brown, or I guess an American Strong Ale like Stone, Arrogant Bastard. It's 8.4%, 97 IBUs, so it's super hoppy. And I don't know what they're using on the bill now. I know the original batch that we used was all Simcoe. I think you have the stats right there. And this is a brand new brand that's coming out for us. We haven't had a spring seasonal in several years, and this is going to fill that slot for us. But we're calling it a mud season ale because in the industry that we work in, I'm finding more and more that these beers are sliding. You know, your springs are coming out in the winter, and your winters are coming out in the fall. So we're trying to combat that by having a beer in that slot, but that's called something more akin to what it is actually, or when it's actually being served. It's big, strong beer, really nice.
Right. So the malts are American Two-Row, Munich Malt, Chocolate Malt, Crystal 60, and Brown Malt. And then for the hops, we got for Bittering-Magnum, Flavor Nugget, and Dry Hop, CTZ, and Chinook. Pretty straightforward, good. I think those are actually perfect for this style. So let's crack it open and see. And for the yeast, they used White Labs WLP001. So a very neutral, clean yeast. So it should be, you know, they want to put more focus on the hops and the malts rather than the yeast character playing a huge role. Big roasty character.
Yeah, it's roasty. It's from the malt.
The brown malt, yeah. Well, the Dogfish Head India Brown Ale also has a big roasty character to it too.
I love the style of beer. I mean, it's
I like the hoppy brown ales. Not many people do it. So.
That's so good.
Yeah. It does remind me of the Dogfish Head just a little bit, but what I like about the Dogfish Head is like, even though it's an India brown ale, like some American brown ales I found have been like, just fall short of the mark of being like a really good beer. They're like trying to be a porter, but they just tone it down to be and they call it a brown ale.
Yeah.
I feel like this is like an India brown ale, but almost the extra hops make it the perfect brown ale. Like,
yeah.
They give it that just little bit of bitterness, that little bit of floral and citrus character just to round out those darker malts. It's really
this is a beer that we put out, and we really got a great reception from the beer geek community when we put it out. Everybody was all over it. Coming from a company that makes the Smuttynose Robust Porter, which is kind of the quintessential beer of that style, I think we know how to do this kind of thing.
Right.
Just to go back to the labeling really quick, this is a new label for us, obviously, because it's a new beer. Joanne Francis, who owns half the company, has always done our labels, and she recently hired somebody to be our director of like an art department, and she's kind of handing the reins over to Chris Hammer, who's slightly redesigning all of her stuff. It's not going to be a total sea change, but you're going to see the packaging looks different, and this is the first label that he designed for us. And it's kind of cool because there's actually two different labels. There's one with these, you see these mud cars, mud racing cars, and then there's another one with a motorcycle. And that's kind of a theme that we're gonna go going forward. When we do the Bounty House, it's gonna have 12 different labels. so that when you get a 12 pack, every single bottle has its own label. It's kinda
Right.
cool.
So just quickly to do a food pairing with this, it does have a hop character, but I think the darker malts play a bigger role. So what we're gonna do is, first we're gonna do it with the cheddar, and then like we do with the other hoppy beers, and then we're gonna go in for just to accent the malts a little bit. I got a sweeter, a 55% cocoa, dark chocolate, just to accent this, like just a contrast. Like cheddar would be like, you know, complementing because of the sharpness of the cheddar and the sharpness of the beer, and then the sweeter chocolate will bring a little bit more sweetness and chocolatiness to those roasted malts. So let's first try it with the cheddar, and then we'll go in and try it with the chocolate. I think it goes pretty nice. I think the roastiness of the malts goes well with the earthiness and sharpness of the cheddar. But it's good.
It's good.
Like,
It actually does complement it nice. I thought the best pairing of the three was the Big A.
yeah, the sweetness of the Big A.
Yeah. It kind of balanced everything out.
I have a darker chocolate here, but I'm saving that for the darker, bigger beers we have coming next. So let's first just try, see, bring out a little bit of the hoppiness of the beer with the sweetness of the chocolate, and then see how it goes. Oh, that's good. Makes the beer really sweet up front, and then like the roastiness comes in the back.
It does. It makes it taste almost like a porter.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes the beer really chocolatey.
Yeah, it does. It's got kind of the characteristic anyway.
Yeah.
You know, those they put out another short batch a couple of years ago where they got a bunch of that Dave was out negotiating our contract in Yakima Valley, and when he came back, they had sent him like 150 pounds of fresh. I think it was Citra hops, and we made a wet hop beer with it, and that was kind of one of the components of the prototype of this beer. It had this really kind of smoky malt backbone with a nice big fresh hop front to it.
Yeah, it does. The sweet chocolate turns into like more like a porter, but it's a really. I like the pairing a lot actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that. This is one of those brown ales I can drink a lot of.
Yeah, this beer is good. It's like super fresh. Just hit the market now. So
So go ahead and get it.
I think actually Monday was when I was first started getting out there into the markets and stuff. So it's as fresh as it gets.